Hey everyone, guess who's back? It's Grandpa, another episode of Cooking with Grandpa. Now this is the adults only version again because I've had lots of requests for, hey Grandpa, how do you make your butter with 2Ds? Well, first you start with something like this. But right now it's a little bit early in the season and Grandpa's ran out of Budder. So guess what? I got to make another batch, but luckily I had some leftovers from last year. So anyhow, when we go back inside, I'm gonna give you some of the raw ingredients, some of the reasons why I use the best that I can, stay with the organic, and just some quick and easy recipes. You know, and just for kicks before I go in, I just have to have a little intermission, so check this out. Look who's helping. Hey buddy, you gonna help Grandpa? Nope, gotta take a nap. Okay, we're gonna go inside and I'll show you some of the raw ingredients. I took the best organic grass-fed butter. There's lots of reasons why you want to go that way. It's really beneficial and there's lots of cool reasons why. The internet's full of the answers. What was the other thing? I didn't use bud this time, but what I used is just the top sweet leaf. Now we're gonna see if this is any more potent than the last batch I made, which was just a little bit too strong, I think, for most. And then soy lecithin, which helps emulsify the butter and lets the available THC, CBD, CBN absorb into your body through the edibles. It makes it much more stronger and more useful. Okay. So here, everyone, let's see. We got really, it started out as 106 grams. And, I got it in the Pyrex cup and all decarboxylated. It ends up to be 6 cups. And if you haven't heard the term decarboxylate, what you're doing with temperature is converting the THC-A molecule to the more psychoactive THC molecule. And you want to be gentle about it. The easiest, I put them between a cookie sheet, lay it down flat, between parchment paper, and put another cookie sheet over the top, 240 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. And let it carry over. Turn the oven off, let it carry over for the top of the hour before you remove it. And there you go. And this is the soy lecithin. It helps emulsify the cannabis and makes it more bioavailable in your system. And what I made earlier this morning, I don't know if you see the reflection, this is 9.5 cups. It started out as, let's see here, 6 pounds. 6 pounds of grass-fed organic butter, and it reduced down to this 9.5 cups. So without doing a lot of math, here it is, 9.5 cups, 10 tablespoons, and we got 6 cups or 106 grams of dried decarboxylated cannabis. So when we come back, we're going to put all these together. I'm going to put the crock pot on the lowest setting, warm, and it usually gets me, with the temperature thermometer, it gets me right about 195 degrees, but always check it, stir it. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to top this off, the crock pot, after everything's in there and mixed. I'm going to wait on the lecithin until everything gets incorporated a little bit, and about an hour under the belt. And then I top it off with water to about, ½ inch below the top. And then we'll let it solidify later, strain it, let it solidify, and then I'll show you how to work with it. So this video is going to be in little steps, so bear with me. And make sure the little ones are sleeping. Okay, this is only a nighttime version. Okay, hey, Grandpa's back with you, and everybody in the pool, check it out. Much better. Anyhow, this is going to be on, like I say, warm. I'm going to check the temperature. I haven't put the lecithin in yet, and I'm gonna let this go probably overnight, and that'll give it about 18 hours. If I get up early, like say 3 or 4 in the morning, I'll just turn it off. I'll pull the plug and let this cool down so I can handle it in the morning. All right, when I come back, I'm gonna give you the next step. So hang in there. Okay, this is actually the next day. Now I've let everything cook. And one thing I didn't, overnight, and one thing I didn't point out to you was the butter. I had mentioned the butter, I reduced it. Well, what I actually did is I made ghee. And ghee, it's just a great way to work with your butter because it raises the smoke point. For those who are, lactose intolerant, it gets rid of the whey and the milk solids and a lot of the extra moisture. So it's actually a really cool product to work with. And it's solidified. And look at all that. Now, you might look at the sides and say, oh, that looks nasty. But no, actually, that's a lot of the love right there. So on the bottom is where the water is. I am going to, this has already been strained once. I'm going to strain it again. And then, yeah, and then we'll have something and we'll jar it. And I'll show you what that looks like later. Okay, till the next time. Oh, by the way, guess what Grandpa's been kicking into? Can you see that? This came from this. This is a half a dose. So anyhow, we'll get some more recipes and maybe we'll make brownies again. So we'll see you later. Bye. Hey everyone, Grandpa's back with you, and hey, guess what we got finished? Look at this. Well, anyhow, what we got here, I'm going to break down the math for you guys. I started out with 9.5 cups of ghee butter, which was reduced from an original 6, I believe 6.5 pounds of organic grass-fed butter. And you know what we ended up with? We ended up with 8 cups net. So anyhow, that's really it. And I didn't tell you before, but when you take the butter puck out and separate the water, on the bottom of that puck it looks like there's like a little layer of nasty, or whatever you want to call it. What I do is I scrape that off, and I try to clean the butter, wipe it down, and just start, really with the good stuff. Everything you lose, it goes somewhere. In Scotch, when they make Scotch whiskey, they call that the angel's share. So, don't be bummed out about it. The good Lord gave us this plant, so we like to give a little bit back. And also the important consideration here is dosage, because like I had mentioned on my no frowny brownies that I made last time with the butter, when I made the brownies, it seemed like with my math, they were a little over 150 milligrams per brownie. And I'm a big guy, so that was plenty. So this batch here with this sugar leaf, sweet leaf trim, I'm doing the math at about 15% THC, and that works out with all the hard math about 83 milligrams per brownie, or about 40 milligrams per teaspoon. Okay, so there you go. Usually when you go to the dispensaries or the marijuana stores in this state, most of your edible dosages are about 10 milligrams, so keep that in mind. And, one of my fans asked me once too, Grandpa, hey, what happens if you eat a brownie or the edibles, and would you get the munchies? Well, actually, to be honest with you, I've never gotten the munchies because with the brownies, the chocolate chips in my brownies, the coconut, and all the goodies, no. So, I don't know, because I've told folks, don't smoke any weed and then eat a brownie, or eat too many brownies or something like this, because there can be some carryover, because you do want the effect to end and have control of your situation. So this is, it's a good tool. It's civilized. It's a lot better than smoking. And it just takes it takes about an hour and a half to get in your system. And I would always go with about half of what you may think you might need. And like I say, don't operate any machinery, drive, or do anything with tools or sharp instruments. Yeah, until you get a handle on this stuff, you want to see how it works with your body. Okay, it's Grandpa signing off. This is the adult version of butter with 2 Ds, And oh, by the way, if you want to help Grandpa get the message out to the, I want to try to make better YouTube videos, better quality, better format. I'm doing this, one-handed. It's going to require, probably better lighting, maybe a camera person, some kind of a set. I don't know. I like to set up a website and also to try to get the message out to their grandparents. How you can inspire your little ones how to cook, little recipes you can do together, how to eat organic, shop local, garden and do things like this. And where, they can be creative and, create recipes on their own, their sense of discovery because they're little. And that's a really fun way. That's the whole purpose of this Cooking with Grandpa series, is to try to get this message out. So if I can get your support, it would certainly help. I have a GoFundMe campaign, GoFundMe/cooking-with-grandpa. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on Cooking with Grandpa. Bye-bye.